Well, hello, everybody listening or watching. We appreciate you joining us for another episode of
What's the Trend?
You know the drill. I am one of your hosts, Casie Mason.
And I am Aaron Weeks.
And hey, and maybe you're just joining us. Episode 12, we're happy to have you. If you're a new listener to the show here, to recap, Aaron and I are bringing you all things pop culture, what is trending.
That is right.
Of course, we break everything down from local events to movies, television, music, hey, even sports.
Hey,
we try.
You know, we do our best. We do what we can.
We do. We even,
Not
my
always
favorite
perfect,
though is
but come on.
celebrity gossip too, of
Oh
course.
yeah,
So
we love it. Come on.
today's show is another jam-packed one. We don't have favorites. We love all of our episodes equally, but I tell you what, Aaron, we're really getting into the swing of things.
We
with
are,
this.
and this is a special one because we have another guest coming in. A very, very special guest that you're gonna have to listen to this entire episode first. We'll get to the end of that, but we will tease it after this episode.
Of course. So there's kind of your teaser to stick around with us through the whole thing.
Absolutely.
We're excited to have this special guest in our studio today. And of course, this is someone you actually found for us. So
yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Of course, it's all in the realm of show business, baby.
It is. It goes hand in hand with our show.
That's the name of the game. We're all about entertainment here. And speaking of entertainment, we obviously like to keep ourselves entertained. We're going to break down some local events that we are looking forward to this weekend that are right here in the tri-state. Hence the word local. And I'm going to tell you about one thing I think folks need to go check out. So it's the Legend of Sleepy Hollow at Empress Theater in Owensboro in October. The Theater Workshop of Owensboro is presenting the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Again, like I said, at the Empress Theater. It's happening this weekend. If you're listening to this episode today, Friday, October 24th through the 26th. If you want to check this out, tickets can be purchased online at theaterworkshop.org/tickets. Of course, you can just go old school and buy them at the box office. You ever seen Sleepy Hollow?
Yes, I have. I've seen the movie and I've seen a little bit of a stage production before. I mean, it was like children, but it's still fun.
It's good.
Yeah, it's spooky. I love it. You know me. I love the Halloween season.
We do. This is like we keep saying this is like our season, our
yes.
Super Bowl,
our second Christmas.
Our second Christmas for sure. Of course, next week we have a all Halloween themed episode.
All Halloween themed. You guys are going to want to tune in for that one. That's for sure.
Definitely. Okay, so we're talking local events around the area. Aaron, tell me what you're kind of looking forward to, or maybe something you want to share about today.
Well, this coming weekend, actually, there's something cool going on. It's a special Halloween event, and it's taking place at the Evansville Museum of Arts, History, and Sciences. It's Frankenstein's Lab. It's a Halloween-themed chemistry event, actually, and it will be held from 11 to 3 this Saturday. And it's like a fun-filled activity. There's going to be, various activities of demonstrations, and there will be special guests there. And people who attend, they're kind of encouraged to wear family-friendly costumes. Yeah. You can just have fun with it, or dressed up like scientists. Even.
I mean, hey, that's a great idea.
Yeah, but that's what makes it even better is it's a totally free event, and you know how we love free things here.
Free 99. We are all about it.
Get into it, but you can learn more about that from going to emuseum.org. And yeah, I'm not a chemistry person, but I bet they break it down to simple for children. So I'll be like, yes.
That's the kind of chemistry I get
I'm
behind.
locked in. We can do it.
The only chemistry I care about is our chemistry as co-hosts, bringing you a fantastic episode each week. Right, guys?
Yes.
I actually avoided taking chemistry all through high school.
I
took
too.
anything I could. Did you really?
Yeah.
I mean, math and science, not my strong suits.
Girl, get out of here. I'm
No.
not a huge math person, not great at science. Those conversions, I was like, am I going to get a college diploma?
Will I be getting my high school diploma at this point?
I know.
I tell you, I had this biggest fear. So I always would, when it came to math or science, I was like, can I see your math and science classes and raise you a public speaking or maybe a monologue in the theater? Anything that involved talking, which is why we are here today, Aaron Weeks.
Yeah,
so
we'll meet you halfway.
Exactly. So I think that's something, of course, I think anyone can join in on and have a good time. What a great suggestion.
Yeah.
So there's some local things we wanted to let you know about here on this week's episode of What's the Trend. And let's now move to this little piece of news. Fans of Dawson's Creek, you guys are going to have a rare opportunity to own a piece of television history. Now, the iconic waterfront home, we all remember it. And of course, as you said, if you haven't come across this show yet, I don't know where you've been, but go ahead and get into it. The iconic waterfront home from that beloved 90s teen drama, which I keep thinking the 90s were yesterday, but indeed, Aaron Weeks, they were not. Of course, the home, it's located in Wilmington, North Carolina. It has officially hit the market. It's a 4-bedroom property being listed for sale for the first time since it was built nearly 150 years ago. The historic home sits on nearly 2 acres of land, and it includes that private dock, which we all know and love. Of course, a familiar sight. What I mean here is the fans that watched the show, there were countless scenes. Takes us back.
I love it.
The most iconic dock in history, I tell you what, and really backyard and pond for that.
Truly.
Was it a creek, a pond? I'm not sure what body of water, but it was still just iconic to us 90s babies. The series, it aired from 1998 to 2003. Of course, Aaron, it became a pop culture phenomenon with some stars. Remember a few of them?
Just a few to name.
It's just a few small names. James Vanderbeek, Katie Holmes, Joshua Jackson, and of course, Oscar nominee winner Michelle Williams as well. Here's the thing, though. It will cost you just a little over $3 million if you wanted to purchase that. Aaron, you want to go in on it? Me and you will combine our bank accounts.
Oh, I'm sure we got that just
for sure.
chilling in our
We need to
bank
combine
account.
some other people's bank accounts with our bank accounts. Maybe we'll get there.
Yeah.
So Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, love it.
Oh my goodness. And you have been.
I have been.
I wanted to talk about
this. I was
this.
in Wilmington over the summer. I've talked
You're
about
Dawson.
Oh my gosh. I hope not. I was Pacey for the permanent record. No way. Dawson was...
He was too much drama for...
Yes, but I went to a lot of the locations. I didn't realize I was at some of the locations that Dawson's filmed at until I was like looking through pictures. I was like, wow, okay, I was there for One Tree Hill basically, but I got that extra slice of Dawson's. There's been so many shows that have filmed there. Like recently this summer I Turned Pretty. That's a huge one right now. But obviously Dawson's, One Tree Hill. It's just kind of like if you're going to have a beach town place to film, that's basically where you're going to go.
I wonder what the locals think about how
I don't know.
publicized it is there. And
I bet it's like hit or a miss with some people. I bet they like the revenue it generates. I'm sure has to, you know, but
I love that you've been there and walked. And you said it really does feel like you're on the set of one of those shows.
It does because I went just on a perfect sunny day, like 85 degrees, not too hot, light breeze. And I was like,
just like a main character walking through the streets.
I am the main character.
He is the main character, folks. And don't you forget it.
Never forget it. But it was just awesome to kind of like just explore that area and see what it was like. And, we had a coworker who used to work here, JC Caldwell. She lives down there.
Wow.
I didn't get to see her. She was out of town, but she was like, these are all the places you need to hit up.
Okay, JC, there you go. We've got a property for sale. Just drop a quick $3 million on that one, and Aaron and I will be happy to come stay in your guest rooms.
Yes,
so
please.
There you go. We have our next weekend trip planned out. Let's go.
We've got this.
Okay, so that's really cool little bit there. And you had some other movie news you wanted to share.
Yeah. So it's a big movie that just happened over the summer. The Sinners cast is going to be honored at the Gotham Awards. And it's going to be, it was a huge box office hit, kind of like unexpected almost, but they're being honored at the Gotham Awards for Ensemble Tribute at the ceremony that's coming in December. And if you haven't seen the movie Sinners,
I have not.
Which we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Okay.
It's about two brothers who are both played by Michael B. Jordan. It actually works really well.
Okay. He's great. He's fantastic.
He's so good at giving them each different kind of, I don't know, how do you like
life
personalities?
Personality,
you can differentiate the two of them, but they return to their hometown where they're kind of confronted by a supernatural evil. I won't go into too much.
Okay.
But I was thinking, since we're doing our Halloween episode next week, that's the movie I want to give you to watch.
Okay, that's perfect. I was just going to say, well, I think I remember seeing recent previews for this. I will be happy to take this one on as my Halloween movie.
You can handle this one, I promise.
And I was thinking about yours. Since we're on the topic here, now if you recall last week's episode, Aaron and I, we were kind of giving a prelude to our upcoming special a Halloween themed episode of What's the Trend. We're going to do all things spooky. We're going to break down candy. Instead of movies, music, sports, and all that, we're going to talk movies, Halloween costumes, traditions, obviously snacks and food and all of our favorite just Halloween themed things. And so we said last week's episode, we're going to assign each other a spooky movie that neither one of us have seen for the other. And so that's going to be mine. Yes. All right, bring it on. I will review it in next week's episode. For me, I wanted to ask, have you seen Halloween H2O?
It's been a long time since I was a kid.
Stand by. That may be a possibility. Okay. If I think of something better, I'll let you know. And of course, you guys will find out what we did decide next week for sure. Okay, I will definitely watch this. This sounds fantastic. Again, anything Michael B. Jordan is in, though,
Perfect.
I'm a fan.
Amazing.
Well, I tell you what, we are now going to move over to our music category.
You've got some music news for me. Tell me about it.
I can't wait to share this one. I loved this because it kind of combines our two worlds. Yeah. I am a resident country music queen here at the station.
And I
rightfully
am
so.
not.
I am not. But you know what? Hey, this
two
girl,
worlds collide, just like this
together.
podcast.
That's right. Here we are. But here's the thing. That's exactly what happened because on October 7th, one of pop music's reigning princesses, I would call her a queen. She transformed into a country queen this night. I'm talking about our girl, Sabrina Carpenter. Aaron, she made her Grand Ole Opry debut.
And I did not know anything about this at all. I just knew about obviously SNL.
I think her SNL appearance
kind of overshadowed this.
Exactly. That's the way I felt too. I knew she was going to be on SNL, which I did actually watch last weekend, her episode. She's
so funny, first of all. I hope she acts more too. Like, I mean, that's where she came from, but like, I love her acting abilities. So good.
Triple threat.
Truly.
What can't she do? She graced the iconic Grand Ole Opry stage with her debut. This happened, of course, in Nashville. She was introduced by surprise country music legend. The person that brought her out was Sheryl Crow.
That's so cool.
You a fan of Sheryl?
Oh,
who isn't?
Yeah, I'm a fan of Sheryl Crow.
How can you not be? That's
truly.
I think you'd have to leave the country if you're not a fan of Sheryl Crow. She is obviously kind of every genre staple. She can do it all. Which is why she was probably the perfect person to introduce Sabrina. Yeah. I think that was a cool moment. There you go. What happened was Sabrina was the last act of the night. That's kind of what they do there at the Opry. You've got they build up to that, headliner, and she performed 4 of what we'll call her most country-ish tracks. What she did was perform "Please, Please, Please," a couple more modern.
She did do that with Dolly Parton.
That's right. Yes, good job. See,
I know more than people think I do. Come on.
Yeah, it was great though. I have only been able to watch a few clips as I was not at the show, but from what I saw, I think the thing about it is Sabrina is obviously a hot act in pop music right now. With that, you got to push the limits. Madonna did it. Lady Gaga pushes the limits. Britney Spears pushed the limits. Beyonce. Well, that's right. Jennifer Lopez. All of our main girls, they have come in and packed a powerful punch with who they are as an artist. And definitely, like I said, we'll just say push the limits. And I know Sabrina can get a little heat for some of her decisions.
You know what? Listen, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. And I think it works for Sabrina Carpenter.
It works. I agree. And the thing about it is, over at the Grand Ole Opry, that is such a sacred stage. I don't think it's a place to push the limits. And what I loved is she came out and was very respectful to the Mother Church, as they call it. And I think she put on a show that her fans could enjoy, but that country music fans could also enjoy and be comfortable with. And I think Sabrina's an incredible entertainer. She doesn't have to change anything about who she is. But I love that she kind of adapted to the sacred country music vibes. I think it's an honor to play, and she did a good job.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say? Okay. Yeah. I feel like the Opry is one of those places they ask you to come, but to come perform, but they can easily ask you to not come back. And I think we'll see Sabrina there for many years to come. What a great treat for Nashville.
I love that. I love it's something that maybe people just kind of overlooked, like myself, because I feel like I would have heard of this at some point. But yeah, no, that's awesome.
Would have been so cool to be there that night for that show.
Imagine.
I'm not sure who else was in the lineup that night. Like I said, I knew Sheryl Crow introduced her, but we'll have to do our research and find out what other acts were there. Maybe some future collabs. Who knows?
I would love.
We'll take
One day, maybe. You never know.
Sabrina Carpenter, Jelly Roll. I mean, we could just have just an array of artists get together for the album of our dreams.
Absolutely. I love to hear it.
Okay. Speaking of some of my favorite celebrity gals.
Yeah.
This next story. You ready?
I
You ready
am.
to hop into this one? All right. Let's
it.
get to that celebrity news section of What's the Trend. We're going to talk a little bit of tea here, as we like to do on this show. Of course, this is a celebrity couple that has really walked with us through the ages. They have. I
mean, roughly what, 25 years?
25 years and going strong. They have been at least in the headlines. I remember baby Casie with brown hair, reading the very first headline that these two were even dating.
Yeah.
And it's been a saga ever since. You ready to go into it? Here we are. We're talking Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, also known by us millennials as Benifer. You got to love a celebrity couple name. What would we be? Karen.
Karen.
We would be Karen.
It would just be Karen with a C.
Karen with a C. And you know what? I'm not mad about that. It's
I'm
a good
not either.
fit. So Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, they actually made a rare red carpet appearance together during the Kiss of the Spider-Woman premiere. This was on October 6th in New York City. I was shocked when I saw them together.
Too.
You were too, right?
Because they just got divorced. And
fresh.
I mean,
we're
fresh. It's not even been like 6 months, I feel.
So Affleck, here's why this happened. I'm sure you're wondering if those of you don't know what we're talking about. He served as an executive producer in this upcoming musical that Jennifer Lopez is in. So Ben Affleck and his best friend Matt Damon, they'd have a great podcast together.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't need more competition out there.
No, we do not.
Well, they have a company. It's called Artist Equity Production Company. So they co-produce a lot of projects, of course, in Hollywood. And this was one of them. So at the premiere of this project, the former couple, Ben and Jen, they posed not just on the carpet, but together. They took photos with their arms around each other, all in celebration of their hard work on this production. I mean, it looks like a fantastic piece of work that they've put together. I'm guessing that they decided to do this maybe pre-divorce, but it's fine. I love that they saw it through and they were adults about it.
Yeah, and I mean, they looked very cordial on the carpet.
They did.
I think that's just cool that you can still, it looks like they're still kind of either friendly or friends with each other. I think that's cool. And
pictures can say 1,000 million words, as they say, but there are some things to add to the story that were said. So as you mentioned, the photos looked great. Two A-listers just chatting it up out there like old friends. But Jennifer even made some statements recently saying nice things. She actually said at the premiere when she was giving a speech, "Thank you, Ben. This movie wouldn't have been made without Ben and without artist equity." She didn't have to do that.
She didn't, but that is so cool that she did.
We love it. So during the TV appearance, during a TV appearance recently, she also said in reference to their divorce, when she was actually just talking about the divorce, that, hey, things happen and you have to keep going. But what a saga these two are. Let's take it back here. Lopez and Affleck, if you recall, first met on the set of their movie. Is it
Geely?
Geely. Okay, I see. There's a word I don't. I'm like, how do you say that again? Words are hard. They met in 2002 on the set of that movie. That's how this whole thing started with them. November of 2002, they got engaged. Do you remember that big green rock?
Yeah.
That was a beautiful engagement. I remember it was like an emerald green, if I'm
Something
thinking
like
right
that.
here. Anyways, it's no Taylor Travis engagement.
No.
Anyways, so yeah, that was kind of cool. They rekindled then after that split. They never actually got married. They called off the engagement. And then they fast forward to April of 2022. They get engaged again. And unfortunately, in August of 2024, Jennifer Lopez is the one that did file for divorce from Ben Affleck. The good thing is we love to see, again, that connection there on the carpet, the mutual respect. I love to see that they were able to go all the way into a project together and not back out, and then support each other along the way.
And also, he he didn't have to come and support
He
her,
didn't.
but
We love it.
We
Go
do.
Ben.
Go Ben.
So many celebrity couples we could do a whole episode on.
We could.
But you know what? We are going to move on. Now, this is always a tough transition because there's been, ever since we've started our podcast, Aaron,
there's been a lot of somber things that have been happening with celebrities. This happened recently, just a year ago. It's coming up on the 1 year mark of Liam Payne's death, which,
shocked the world.
Shocked me. I remember doing the push alert for it, and I couldn't believe it.
Oh.
I can't believe it's already been a year since that happened. But, Thursday marked the 1 year anniversary since One Direction member Liam Payne. He died last year from falling from a hotel balcony in Buenos Aires. And he died from a cranial fracture and from extreme injuries, which is, so tough.
Tragic.
Yes,
very tragic.
So tragic. His life was cut so short. But there's video footage that showed that Payne it was an accidental fall.
Oh, my.
Yeah, he fainted and apparently fell off the balcony from that point. But, fans gathered at the hotel to remember the star. And as I said before, he was one of the original members of One Direction. That included Harry Styles, Louis Tomlinson, Zayn Malik, and Niall Horan.
What a group that was. I felt like that the One Direction group could have gone a few more years of just that roller coaster and really kind of carried that through for another. Like the Backstreet Boys are still going strong. I love that they each have their own individual projects, all individually talented. But I feel like One Direction, they came in hot and then it was over. That's just my opinion.
It's unfortunate because I always thought at some point, and they may probably think the same thing, that they would have reunited at some point, all five of them, and that's just.
And you have a tragedy like this hit the group, and it's sad.
It's sad.
We definitely cover all topics on this show, WAP being one of them. So I'm glad that we kind of recap that today, because if you are a fan of what's the trend and pop culture in general, One Direction, it's a household name. And we obviously followed that group from their rise to kind of, like I said, their individual careers
the X
now.
Factor.
Yes. So again, some sad news that we sometimes have to recap here on our show, but we wanted to share that as it is trending in pop culture news. Right, Aaron?
Yeah.
But we are now going to switch gears because we are so excited to welcome a special guest to this week's show. We love when we can have an interview and a guest join us. This is kind of tying all of our worlds together.
Yeah, we're getting a blend of local and entertainment. And, that's what our show is all about. It's going to be our third guest here. He's insane. He's already got feature films under his belt, short films. He's been in many theater productions. And, he has credits to his name before he's even has a driver's license.
I am so jealous.
Insane.
This kid is killing it. We are so excited to have him join us. His name is Wake Ritter, and he is a rising star here in our area. So we thought, what better chance to talk a little bit about the ins and outs.
Yeah, what it's like behind the set or on the stage,
in the spotlight.
In the spotlight.
Take us with you. We're excited to have you join us. Well, we'll let Wake break it down for us. He's going to tell us about, what it's like to be him and a working actor in the industry. Enjoy this interview on this week's episode of What's the Trend. Here we go. Well, as promised at the start of this week's episode of What's the Trend, we promised you a special guest to do the second part of our show here. We love to have guests join us, and this guest is right on the money for the theme of what we do here on What's the Trend.
We have rising star Wake Ritter with us.
Yay! We're glad to have you, Wake. He's like, hold your applause, hold your applause.
Yes.
So, Wake, we came across really just your story and your resume, if you will, and we were just so delighted and surprised to have someone with just so much to talk about, especially here locally. We love our local stars. So thank you, first of all, for coming on our show. We're glad to have you.
Yeah. It's like
dream come true.
Yeah.
All the bright lights.
Everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you're no stranger to a set, as we said earlier. So we're going to get to that. But first, let's kind of walk back a little bit. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Maybe share where you were school, kind of born and raised, and kind of what kind of your background is, I guess.
Yeah. We have kind of been all around in Evansville. We've been in Newburgh. We've been east side, west side, north side. So right now we're on northeast side. But yeah, I currently am going to North Junior High. And yeah, I kind of started, we actually traveled to New Zealand in 2018 We went there for like a year and a half and kind of lived there.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. And that was really cool.
Was that for work or for?
So we wanted to kind of get like a fresh start, like my parents did.
Yeah.
And we wanted to go there and kind of like live out new lives there. But we moved back because of, first of all, COVID.
Yes, that'll do it.
That'll do it every time.
Yeah, and we actually got back just in time because when we got back, like a couple days later, everything shut down. So we were like,
perfect timing.
We were like, just in time. But yeah, we came back and I wanted to. I watched one of my favorite movies at the time was The Greatest Showman. And
you got good taste.
always remembered, I always remembered singing and like, moving along with the songs of it. And I wanted to kind of do that. And so my mom got in touch with, kind of people who did that sort of thing, like children's theaters around locally. And yeah, I auditioned for my first musical. And yeah, I've just been doing musicals ever since. And then that kind of led into films and acting.
Definitely. Now let's kind of again, when you were little, would you say you were dancing around? Aaron and I always joke we were the kids that we would force our parents come out to the garage, watch us our choreographed rollerblading in circles for hours to the Spice Girls and whatnot. Would you say that you were one of those kids at a young age that was always performing, always entertaining?
Oh yeah, me and my sisters, we would force our parents to come to the living room and we would play The Greatest Showman on the TV and like dance to the song. It was,
Wake's mom is nodding her head off to the side there.
She remembers I had to sit there for an hour.
So there was, definitely a start with kind of enjoying entertaining at least the people around you as a kid at the time.
Yeah. That's awesome. We kind of did our musical thing too, but we find it so fascinating too. How did you kind of like transition from plays and musicals to film?
I want to say it was, I didn't, I just wanted to branch out a little more.
Mm-hmm.
And I always, saw like, I was watching movies, right? And I was like, it would be really cool to be like a famous actor in Hollywood.
Right.
And so I
talked
talked
to my... cool when we can say we knew you when. So sorry, you talked to who?
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten a lot of like from haircut people at haircuts or people who are like, helping me, and then my mom tells them and they're like, remember us when you make it big.
Your mailman, your teacher. Yeah. You got a lot of friends coming out of the woodworks.
But yeah, I wanted to sort of branch out, and I talked to my mom about it, and she got in touch. She sort of reached out, and she was looking online, and there was a agency in Indianapolis called Talent Fusion, and the agencies kind of like give you send your pictures and stuff out to films and stuff, and they sort of give you audition requests and like give you the opportunity to do films and stuff. So they reach out for you instead of you having to do it yourself. That's kind of the agency's role. And so we got in touch with Talent Fusion, and I kind of joined them, and they reached out and gotten Dirty Laundry, my first film. And that's kind of how we all started.
I mean, you walk through that and it sounds, so simple, but you have to be incredibly talented because there are thousands of folks that chase those similar dreams.
Yeah.
And so, performed at a young age, you're born and raised from the area, did a little stint in New Zealand. We love to hear that. You came back, you watched The Greatest Showman, you decide it's time, you have a supportive family, they get you an agency, but it didn't just happen like that overnight. Or did it?
I mean, it didn't really happen overnight. I mean, this was a couple years ago, so I don't necessarily... if you watch the clip of me in Dirty Laundry, I look really young. I look like a baby.
Yeah, we did.
I look like a baby.
I know when you walked in today, I was like, you definitely look older now. Because and obviously, there's been some time there. Tell us a little bit about when you signed with your agency, what was the first thing that you guys had to start doing? Did you have to start at home filming auditions? What was that like? How did your family help you?
So recently, like whenever we do auditions, we can kind of do it more or less ourselves with, getting the script and filming it ourselves. But back then we needed a lot of help from like other people to do that because we didn't know what to do. So I I had an acting coach. And basically how it would work, I would get the script, I would read over the script, highlight my lines, kind of look over it, try to get like what the scene's about. And then we would, get a camera, go into a well-lit area, and I would just film it. And then the part I like about film auditions rather than musical auditions is musical auditions, you only get one chance. You have to do it live in front of people.
Yeah.
And
we laugh.
if you mess up, you mess up.
You mess up.
So if you mess up an audition though for a film, you can just refilm it.
That's great. Good.
Yeah.
You get your favorite take and go with it.
Love
it.
That.
Yeah. Yeah. So we can film like 10 different takes and then, watch them back and like, oh, I like this one the better because I did this with my facial expressions in this part. And, I think that would look better.
So the auditions are taped.
Yeah.
Tell me, after you tape them and you get kind of that inkling of, okay, we may land this, we may not. What was the very first thing that you were like, oh, wow, I got this, and you knew, hey, this is a real thing. The ball started rolling. What was that very first gig that you could basically walk us through where you're like, okay, it's happening?
Yeah, I think the realization of like, I'm actually doing films and acting like seriously, I don't think that realization hit until we actually were like kind of on set and talking to all the producers. I was seeing all the cameras and everything like around the room. And I was like, wow. But, I mean, we got it. And I was just like, that's crazy. I mean, again, the realization didn't hit me until a bit later.
Yeah.
But
it's surreal.
Yeah.
That's how we feel every day when we tape
Always.
What's the Trend.
Exactly.
We say, look at us, we're here, watch us go.
I was going to ask you, how did like doing plays and musicals and stuff kind of prepare you for on set, and like how is it the same and how is it different?
Yeah, what do you prefer?
I mean, I personally prefer films more. Again, because of the whole like, let's do a retake.
Right.
You messed up that line, but less pressure and you can be more relaxed about it. But for the differences, most people, for me, I assumed like, I mean, it's both acting, so it'd be pretty similar, but it's actually pretty different. The general basis of like, memorizing the lines or, asking for feedback or trying to get context clues on the scene to really understand your character, yeah, that's all there. So all the basics and foundation. But really, with theater, you have to project your voice. You have to over-exaggerate your facial expressions and your movements. And in films, you just don't do that, right? You tone it down. You make it look more real. Usually it's not even, most of the time, it's not even on your full body. It's usually just a close-up of your face sometimes. So you're really just focusing on your facial expressions. You have to get really in tune with your character. Where on stage, it's like you have to over-exaggerate it so that the audience far away can see it. Because, I mean, they can't see. If you're doing some subtle, like, eye twitch as a acting part on stage, no one's going to see that on stage, right? But if you do that with a camera, like, right here, they're going to be able to see that.
See the eye twitch, the intensity.
Yeah. And I think the fact that you can do a retake and it's less nerve-wracking also helps because on stage, it's like there's points where you can go like, ooh, I didn't do that correctly, but the audience wouldn't be able to see it because it was a small facial change. If you do that with a camera, like right here,
Each week I'm like, all right, what do we need to edit out of what we just taped?
There's some heavy editing that goes on sometimes.
Yeah.
Walk us through a day in the life. You are about to turn 14, you said?
Yeah.
The ripe old age of 14. Look at him go. But, you've done so much so far with your career. Truly, the sky is the limit. We can't wait to see where you are 5-10 years from now.
Yeah.
Life will look a little different then. But right now, you also are just a normal young man who is going to school. We talked about some friends. You like to hang out. Walk us through the average day in the life as a 14-year-old going to school from here in the tri-state who's also in the world of acting and pursuing this dream.
Well, really the only people that kind of know about it is my friends from theater, like the theater musicals I do. People at school don't really know. I don't really talk about it. I went to North Junior this year. Last year I went to Evansville Day School. And so the people at Evansville Day School knew, but North Junior is just such a big school.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's 1,000 kids.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't really talk about it, but I mean, it's not really anything special, dreadfully wake up at 6:30 a.m.
Same.
I used to ride the bus and I had to get up at like 6 to get on there. And it was, But now I'm being driven to school because I was like, I can't ride the bus at this time of the morning anymore.
He has his driver now. He's already. I love it. He's living that Hollywood lifestyle. Mom's like, no, I'm the driver.
She's the chauffeur.
She's your chauffeur for now. So, are you able to kind of balance auditions, schoolwork?
Yeah.
Obviously, you're involved in theater at school too. Is that right?
Yeah. I think here recently, we haven't we wanted to pick up more on films, but this year, we haven't done many auditions just because of school and theater and other things. And I was like, I don't know when I would be able to do this. But yeah, like I said, we just got done with a musical that I did a couple weeks ago. And now I've kind of got more free time. And so I wanted to I told my mama, I was like, can we start doing more auditions? I want to pick this up again. Because it's something I really want to do and pursue.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. I'm just so amazed at how, first of all, mature you are. And
I know, I'm blown away.
So cool. And by the way, we were talking about it. You have the coolest name ever.
You have the coolest name ever.
I love
Props, Mom. We love
you.
it.
Yeah, my first name is Vincent. And Wake is actually my middle name.
I go
even
by
more.
Wake,
though. That's so cool.
That is a iconic government name.
Yes, it is.
Love it.
There's so many. If I were to make it big, right? There's so many Chris's, or there's so many of these names, but I don't think Wake, that's a very unique name, and I was that sounds cool. I want to go by that. Yeah.
Let's talk about the future. Obviously you were balancing a little bit of normal life with a little bit of this really cool side hustle. I like that. I kind of like that you're keeping it under wraps. Let your work do the talking. I like that. But I also love that you're able to be a normal, I don't want to say kid, normal young man as well. But as life unfolds and the years kind of go by here, what is the goal? Do you see yourself relocating maybe someday? We had Jamie French on our show, anchor here at 14 News, and blew our minds that she'd actually lived in Los Angeles for about 8 years and pursued acting and worked in the industry. What do you see your life looking like?
I would love to keep doing this and, make a big movie. I think that a lot of it is luck, because there's a lot of, talented young actors that just never see the light because, there's just so many business in this industry where there's so many kids wanting to do this that it's really hard to actually make it big. But I think that if I stay with enough consistency, that eventually something will happen. And really, I believe, if you make it big in some recognizable movie once, people can see you from that, and so it can kind of cannonball into a new, bigger movies. So
which
awesome.
You've already done that. Walk us through your biggest project to date, where folks can find it, and kind of what your role was, your character. Of course, we know because we did our research on you, but for our folks listening today, that we want to welcome your name into their house and kind of look your stuff up. Tell us about that big role and kind of what you learned from it.
Yeah, I've done 3 films so far. First one was Dirty Laundry. Second one was one called Tin Soldiers. And the most recent one I've done, even though it's recent, it was a while ago. But it was called Chameleon. And Chameleon, I want to say Tin Soldiers has probably been the most advertised. I've seen that the most. But Chameleon is actually on Amazon Prime. So, yeah. There
you go, folks. Head to Amazon Prime right now. Watch Chameleon.
Check it out.
Don't watch it with the family, though. It's about a serial killer.
Yeah, I want to say, was that kind of darker? What was your character like, and how was it playing that role?
So in Chameleon, I was the son of the best friend's of the best friend of the main character. So the main character is a serial killer, and he had a best friend, and that best friend had a son. That was me.
Oh, that's awesome.
I wasn't I didn't get too much screen time, but if you have a, he was kind of my uncle in the thing, and I actually didn't read the full script when I got the scene. I was told I was like, okay, you're just a bratty teenager.
Done.
I was like, okay, I'll just be myself then.
Oh, you stop it.
Just don't drink anything with caffeine in the morning or I'll be scratchy. But yeah, it was, I actually didn't see or know the full story until I watched it, the full thing. And it's I think it's like 2 hours. So my dad held a watch party at his office.
I was going to ask. That was my next question.
He held a watch party at his office with a bunch of people from his team, and I went in there and watched it, and I think there's a bit of suspicion as well. Like, I hope this isn't too bad for him. Like, they let him audition and play in it. Like, I don't know. But yeah, so we were watching it, and it was definitely high quality. And the fact that it's on Amazon Prime. But in terms of the biggest role, I don't really, because with Tin Soldiers, it's not really advertised and it hasn't like been super big like the other ones, but I had a lot of screen time compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
It's basically about following a main character having ADHD and taking medicine for it. And how his life goes from that and how that, affects him. And so for, 1/3 of the film, it's when he's like a little kid, and that's me. So I think like my biggest role in an individual film was probably Tin Soldiers, because the other ones, it's like, little clips here and there, just
and the
scenes.
Biggest kind of advertised or easiest platform is Chameleon. So it's like you had a bigger role in Tin Soldiers, but that bit more advertised mainstream platform on Amazon Prime with Chameleon. But that is versatile. I mean, there's a lot of versatility there. It shows your willingness to take on these roles, a more mature role as well. We love to see that. But you have learned a lot. It sounds like just getting started.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. What was it like doing like the film festival circuit kind of?
Ooh, yeah. So it was definitely fun to go into like a actual like theater and see a screen with projector and see my scene in Dirty Laundry like played on there, and I was like, wow,
that's gotta be awesome.
It was like a second realization hit. I was like, this is actually on a big screen, like it's an actual film. But yeah, we went there and we were watching it with, some friends from theater came along and watched it. And I definitely think Dirty Laundry's probably been the most advertised. They put a lot of effort into like posting on social media and stuff with that. Where Chameleon, it's advertised, but it was more put on Amazon Prime and not as advertised as Dirty Laundry was. So yeah, the film festival was really fun, and it was definitely a second hit. And I was like, wow, that's a big projector screen, and I'm actually on there. You can see my face and my
all of it.
Badly middle parted haircut in 4K on that screen. So
that's how I feel every morning on the news. I'm like, please back up the camera shot a little bit. So.
Well, back then I had a side part, and then they wanted it a middle part, so it was like.
I like the hairstyle now, though. Just you're rocking it. So
yeah, very much so.
We loved all the headshots. It is funny because we have several of your headshots, and it is cool to see you. I mean, you change fast in the next couple of years. It's funny to see you go from playing a role of a little kid to now a young man, and then of course, again, the sky's the limit. I can't wait to see what you do next. What do you want to do next? Are you looking for a specific TV show? Are you looking for movies? Anything that comes your way? Do you want to play happy, funny, sad, dark, scary? What?
I think I'm really like adaptable. I think I could play a very different range of genres, but I'm not really looking for anything in particular. I just want to, make it big. I want to be in a movie that people recognize and they can know me from. But definitely, I think the biggest goal is to be on some like Nickelodeon or Disney show or something, because they're always doing those with kid characters, and usually those things last a while, so I'd be on there for a long time.
I think we were talking with your mom earlier about it. You had like some auditions kind of come up with those kind of networks.
I think the hardest part about this is that they don't actually tell you if you didn't make it. They tell you if you do make it, but I auditioned for this Nickelodeon show, and I was like, wow, it's really cool. Like, they would tell us if I didn't make it. And it was 2 months later, and then we were just like, guess I didn't make it. Like, I didn't hear back from them. Yeah. but I mean, that's really how it is. It's like if you don't make it, they just don't tell you. Because I mean, I'm sure they have thousands of people. They can't email to all of them. Hey,
just
you
shoot
didn't
us a
make
text.
it. Yeah.
We actually, Jamie French kind of covered that when we had her on, which again, a great person to connect with at some point too. That's kind of been in the industry at a young age. At a young age, you are kind of facing and learning about rejection a little earlier than your average kid has to, but in the long run, speaking from these two old guy and gal over here, we can tell you right now that, it is a good lesson to learn at a young age, because even in what we do, I've had jobs I've applied for and I never heard back either. Not the same thing, but of course it does shape you. I can see these kind of tools being something that you'll take with you to, for the rest of your life, really. So,
I do, as much as it's kind of annoying to not hear back, it is like, it's less sad on you because it's less of like, yeah, you didn't make it. It's like, why? It's like you kind of
I don't want to know.
You kind of slowly forget about it. So then you don't actually like feel too sad when you didn't make it.
On to the next one, right?
Yeah, on to the next one. So yeah.
I have another question, and it just popped in my head as you talk. You kind of remind me of a young Leo DiCaprio, if we will. And for kids tuning in that are friends with Wake, that is an actor that hopefully you know who Leo is. But who do you kind of idolize in the industry and maybe want to kind of pattern your career after?
One of my favorite actors is Jim Carrey.
That's
what a great answer. We thought we love you even more after this. This is great. What a good answer.
Yeah, she likes to send me texts, and it's like pictures of young Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, you look like him. I'm like, I don't see it, Mom. Stop sending me pictures.
It's a good thing. He's done very well. If you've ever heard of him, look him up.
Yeah.
So Jim Carrey. So you got a little comedy bug in you, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, I find him really funny and very humble actor. He's he gives back, and I think he's had a lot of hardships in his career, and he pushed through and kept going, and I think that's really inspiring.
Do you have a favorite film of his? Or one of them?
Dumb and Dumber is really good.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Icon. And if any other favorite films while we have you, because when you make it big someday, we will air this interview and we'll say we knew him when. Anything else you want to talk to Wake Ritter about today while we have him here on our show?
I'm just, I'm so interested in everything that you've told us about your life.
We are a little bit in awe.
Yeah, definitely. You're, again, we harp on it, but you're such a young age, but you already kind of know what you want to do. And some people go through their whole life without knowing anything that they want to do. Yeah. And that's already an accomplishment in itself, I feel. So I'm just in awe.
It's definitely like I'm thinking about what I want to do when I'm older, but it's like I'm only 13, so I have to wait like another couple years till I can actually do anything about that. But yeah, so.
Well, we get excited for you too, because we can see that there's a passion that's been sparked, and I love to see that your family is supporting that passion and they're doing what they can to help you out. You may love this, you may veer away from it, or maybe get back into it, or just stick with it. And I can't wait to see you accept your first Oscar. But overall, it's a really cool thing that you are putting yourself out there. It seems like you have a great team of support surrounding you. Anything that you knew you were coming on the show today that maybe we didn't touch base on that you wanted people to know about you, or that you wanted to talk about here today?
No, I mean, I think we kind of touched all the points that
you guys did it.
But I want to say that I'm very grateful for my family. When I did Chameleon, I spoke with the main character, who's the serial killer, and he said that, he wanted to do stuff when he was younger, like my age, but his family didn't really help him with that. And so that made me realize like how lucky I am to have a family that supports me and is, able to bring me around to Memphis, Tennessee to do a film on a weekend. But very grateful for my mom being my film manager.
Well said. Momager. We love it.
Momager. Yeah.
Well, you both were extremely kind the minute we met you. You're someone we're rooting for, and you seem so humble. You also seem mature beyond your years. We're so excited to see what you do. If you are watching this week's episode of What's the Trend, we are actually incorporating some clips of your work. So we're seeing what you have done so far as we're talking. Those of you listening in, we highly recommend you check out Wake Ritter. Wake, real quick, plug yourself for us, promote yourself. Where can we find you? And kind of any upcoming projects, anything you want to promote here today.
I I'm on Instagram and Facebook, IMBD, obviously. Yeah, you can find Chameleon on Prime Video. I'm not actually sure where you can find Dirty Laundry right now. It may not. I think it's still in film festivals, but yeah, you can search up Dirty Laundry Instagram and look at that.
Stand by.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be in Into the Woods, the North Junior musical.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wonderful.
Congrats.
Yes. And fun fact about Aaron and
Or North High
Casie,
School,
we
so.
met on the set of a musical back in the day. We were in the Music
Really?
Man, and that was what sparked our friendship.
Yeah.
Little did we know, years later, we'd be working together here at 14 News and hosting a podcast.
Yeah.
So see, Wake, the dream is alive and well.
Yeah.
We joke, but truly, we are so excited to have local talent in-house today. You came to our studio, you drove here. Well, you rode here. And we are so happy that you gave us your time today to just promote your career. And we can't wait to see what you do next.
Yeah, we really appreciate it again. Thank you guys so much.
That's another thing too, is I want to, like, if I make it big, like, yeah, I'm from Evansville, Indiana, like bring some light on this town, right?
Love where you're from.
So, yeah.
Exactly. We love to hear it. Already giving back, guys. So I tell you what, Wake Ritter coming to a screen near you or a stage near you. We were so happy to have you on today's show. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
What an incredible interview.
Truly, he's just the coolest guy. I wish I could be that cool.
Me too. Maybe someday when I grow up, I can be Wake Ritter. I love it. And we're so proud of you. You are obviously absolutely working so hard at such a young age, but also enjoying what you're doing. So
yeah, like kind of just like trying to get to your dream at that age, and you're already making steps towards it. Amazing.
His resume is way longer than mine, and I've been, working for a long time. So we're very proud of you, Wake, and we were so happy to have you.
Yeah, thank you again for so much for coming in.
And great recommendation. Aaron, you came across him and you said, I think we need to have this young man on our show.
Oh, yeah.
And boy, am I glad that we did.
Yeah, me too.
We hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of What's the Trend, as well as our special guest, Wake Ritter. But that'll do it for this week. We can't wait to be right back here, same time, same place. Next week, we're going to bring you our special Halloween episode. Anything else you want to add, Aaron Weeks?
No, just thank you again for listening or watching. And you can always find us on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. We have this on YouTube, on our 14 News page under podcasts. And thanks again for, tuning in to
What's the Trend?